What is going on, guys? Troy here, WeightGainNetwork.com, and it's actually the lower level of my apartment complex where I live, so thought I would change up the background and scenery. So we got some cool little artwork behind me for you guys to enjoy in today's video. So intermittent fasting has got a ton of hype the last couple of years in the fitness industry. I'm sure you guys have seen Kino Body making it seem like the greatest thing since sliced bread in a lot of his videos about intermittent fasting, but I want to talk about intermittent fasting specifically for being a naturally skinny guy and if it can help you build lean muscle mass. So let's dive right into it. So I haven't really talked about it much on this channel, but I actually did some intermittent fasting about a year ago and I'm about to start doing it again. And there's a few very specific reasons why I like doing intermittent fasting. So you're probably thinking, as a naturally skinny guy, how in the world would not eating for 16, 17, sometimes 20 straight hours, how in the world is that gonna help you build lean muscle mass? So I'm gonna explain why in this video and how you need to set up your intermittent fasting so you actually have results. So first of all, the rules of intermittent fasting are very simple. You need to have at least, at the very minimum, a 16-hour stretch where you're not eating any food. So the things that you can have coffee, you can have tea, obviously you can, no added sugar or cream or sweetener in the coffee or tea. You could do a sugar-free energy drink. As far as I know, having a little bit of artificial sweetener doesn't really impact the intermittent fasting. You could do, actually one of my things that I was doing on intermittent fasting, I was even including celery. Celery has like hardly any calories, actually makes you really full. So my little trick with intermittent fasting is I would eat celery and I would combine it with carbonated water, which obviously has 0 calories. And other times when I was looking for a little energy boost, sometimes I'd even take pre-workout or drink coffee, throw in some branched chain amino acids. So those are my little tricks, but long story short, intermittent fasting, you need to go at least 16 hours. You have the most benefits when you're at the 18 to 20 hour mark of not eating during intermittent fasting. So why in the world would you want to do intermittent fasting? I'm sure it sounds terrible to you guys right now. Well, there is some really powerful research associated with intermittent fasting as far as it boosting your human growth hormone levels and your testosterone levels. So obviously, on top of just eating a calorie surplus and putting the right things in your body, if you can manipulate your hormone levels such as HGH and testosterone, this is obviously the most powerful thing that you can do to decrease your body fat levels and drastically increase your strength and your lean muscle mass. And the number one reason that I started doing intermittent fasting is I noticed my energy levels were a lot higher. So if you think about it, when you wake up, first thing, you eat a bunch of food, you kind of feel a little bit lethargic. So with intermittent fasting, the main benefit besides the aesthetic things that I'm going to talk about are when I woke up, when I was doing intermittent fasting, it was like, boom, I was laser focused. I had a little bit of coffee. I sometimes sipped on some branched chain amino acids and I was straight into work mode. I wasn't putzing around in my kitchen, stirring up oatmeal, making eggs, spending 30-45 minutes making breakfast. I was going straight to my computer. I was working on my computer, doing my thing, and I felt like I was getting a lot more work done. So for me personally, that's actually the reason why I'm gonna start doing intermittent fasting again and increase energy levels. And I'm sure that the increased energy levels had something to do with the testosterone output as well. So the two most important hormones that you could ever want to manipulate are HGH and testosterone. I'll link some studies in the description below. There's countless studies that show that fasting for 16 hours, and if you can get close to 20 hours, you have a huge spike in your hormone levels. So you guys aren't going to lose a ton of muscle mass. Your body isn't going to start eating itself just because you don't eat anything for 16 to 20 hours. In fact, it's going to skyrocket your energy levels because when your body's constantly digesting food, you're gonna feel a little bit more tired, a little bit more lethargic. So obviously the point of this video is intermittent fasting right if you're naturally skinny guys? If you do want to try out intermittent fasting, how you need to go about it. So number one, you need to make sure that you're still eating a calorie surplus. Just because you only have a 6 or an 8 hour eating window doesn't mean that you shouldn't be eating a calorie surplus. And let me tell you what, after working out, especially at the end of my fast and not eating for anywhere from 16 to 20 hours, it is so incredibly easy to consume a 1,300 calorie meal. So the way that I would do my fasting is I would typically have my last meal at 8 or 9 p.m. So say my last meal is at 9 p.m. That means I can break the fast around 1 or 2 p.m., get my 16, 17 hour fast in. And then what I would do is I would work out at the very end of my fast, and I would take a pre-workout and I would put about 10 to 15 grams of branched chain amino acids into that pre-workout, just for a little bit of extra insurance to ensure that my body is not breaking down and going catabolic. And then my first meal is gonna be right after my intense workout at the end of my fast. And your body is just gonna be starving for protein and carbohydrates, and your glycogen levels are gonna be really receptive to filling up. So these can be really powerful for building muscle mass long term. So your post-workout meal, if you guys are trying to build muscle during intermittent fasting, needs to be at least 1,000 calories. So it's super simple to get in 3,000 calories in even a 6-hour window, because your first meal, you're gonna be absolutely starving. And then I noticed even an hour, hour and a half later, if I was able to go for a really intense workout at the end of my fast, what I would do is I'd have a 1,000 calorie shake right about an hour and a half after that last meal. So throw in a 1,000 calorie shake. We got a ton of other videos on the channel showing you guys some 1,000 calorie shakes. What's going on, dude?
I took to the news tonight. Okay? Thank you, buddy.
It's my boy right there. So 1,000 calorie shake about an hour and a half after your first meal. So I think I got like the peanut butter mass builder. We got these crazy mass building shakes on the channel, so check them out. So only 2 hours into our eating window, or 2.5, we have over 2,000 calories. So then you have 4 hours left to get in another 1,000 calories. So incorporating high calorie foods like peanut butter and maybe some sirloin steak, and I've just checked the channel, guys. There's a million videos on foods to gain weight. So it's not rocket science. Just put together some high calorie meals, and even if you have a 250 calorie snack every single hour for the remaining 3-4 hours, super simple to get in 3,000 calories. So for me personally, if I can impact my hormone levels and increase my energy, and I can still get in 3,000 high quality calories in a 6-hour eating window, if you can pull this off, you can make really fast gains with intermittent fasting, especially because your body is not used to it. You've never really done intermittent fasting, so starting off, you're probably gonna have the biggest, positive impact on your hormone levels. So just try it out, guys. I know for me personally, my body is really receptive to it. Once my body adjusted to the fasting period, it was really easy for me to not eat for 16 or 17 hours and even work out towards the end of my fast. So I know I have other friends that I've recommended it to, and they said they couldn't do it. They felt weak, they felt dizzy, they felt tired. Me personally, I wake up and I don't eat for 12 hours. I'd start drinking some pre-workout and some coffee, and I'm fucking wired, I'm ready to go. So at the end of the day, guys, you can watch all the videos and read all the tips that you want, but at the end of the day, it's just gotta be what works best for your body. So this is my personal experience, being a naturally skinny guy. Intermittent fasting has without a doubt helped me, so I want you guys to let me know in the comments below. If you guys are gonna try it out right away, see how your body adjusts to it, and let me know in the comments what you thought of it. So that is my little rant on intermittent fasting. Please let me know if you have any questions. I try to cover as much as possible, but there's always little details that go into it. And one more thing that I touched on it a little bit, make sure you guys hit some branched chain amino acids. It has no calories. There's tons of different brands. I prefer the Starvation Extend branched chain amino acids. They taste really good. So just sip on some branched chain amino acids, have some coffee, eat some celery if you guys tend to get hungry during your fast. That is it for now. If you guys are looking for more tips on how to bulk up and gain lean muscle mass, head on over to weightgainmethod.com. See you there, guys. Component of what I would do for a perfect clean bulk when I'm really trying to pack on muscle mass and minimize my body fat, and I'm going through really intense training sessions. So this is going to be